Welcome back to the most right-wing podcast on the planet.
Yeah. If you're looking for the right news, the facts. The facts of the facts.
Welcome back. Quick hiatus.
If you have a vaccine, take it out of your arm.
Yeah, right. If you came to listen to two vaccinated podcasters, you're in the wrong place.
Tell you something, man. I've killed 32 doctors in the last month.
You're in the wrong place, senorita.
Senorita. Hey,
Actually, let me move the camera real quick.
I don't speak French. Live adjustment. Nice.
You know, like the fucking Boondocks clip when he's like, wait a minute, I'm white. He just starts like laughing at the dude in the street.
No.
I don't know the context of it, but it just was on Twitter the other day.
Why? Because
like,
fuck them, that's why.
He's like, one of the characters is like walking down the street and it's just like some like random fucking civilian. And he just like looks up and he's like, wait a minute, I'm white. And he just like turns around and just walks away.
What? It's from the Boondocks?
Yeah, I don't know the context.
So funny,
I don't watch that show. But
that was like one of those Adult Swim shows on at like 4 a.m.
yeah,
or whatever.
Facts.
That shit is so funny, dude.
I don't know. Every clip I see is fucking hilarious. I need to figure out the backstory behind that one. But
Have you ever seen The Booty Warrior?
no, I don't think
Dude.
so.
Bruh.
I'm talking about a single bit from that show because they're all vehemently racist. But
Well, I mean, black people made it, so.
no, I know. But I'm saying like.
Yeah, you
exactly.
can't quote any of it. No, you can quote this one, dude. It's like it's a real guy.
You quote this one. No.
Yeah, he goes, "I'm a mother." No, I'm gonna sing NWA. No, it's like it's a real guy because there was an article this year that he got out of jail and saw.
Is it the teacher with the pencil?
No, it's
that's a good one too.
I haven't seen that. No, it's
no, you definitely have. That's also a real one where he's like I say the word, I do.
Oh yeah. That was on the Boondocks.
Yeah, they recreated it. Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
funny as fuck.
Yeah, he's like put the A on the end.
Yeah, no, it's the
Everyone's
H.
Can you lend
He spells it up.
pencil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's so
And
fucking
then the lady
good,
interviewing was black. I
She's
was
like-
like, oh my god. Yeah, that's.
I say it.
I say it.
I've said it
I
before.
say it. I say it. You're like,
Yeah.
well, I don't know if that's how it
Oh,
works.
God, dude.
No, it's a guy, and he's like, I don't. I gotta find like the actual. I don't know if there's a real video of it, but he is a real person. He must be real. He was on To Catch a Predator, but he was like flirting
My
with
name
Chris
is
Hansen.
Chris Hansen.
Yeah, he was like flirting with Chris
And
Hansen.
I'm catching Chris Hansen.
Yeah.
What are you doing here tonight, Chris? Well, I was just. He's just like
Yeah,
against himself.
that shows.
That'd be a
Yeah,
good-
they did that, didn't they?
That'd be a good AI.
Yeah, they
to
had
catch a
that. That was
predator.
like the spoof. There was like a spoof video of that. I'm pretty sure.
Actually
Of Chris Hansen like
I need to
interviewing
see
himself
that,
or whatever.
'cause that's
Yeah.
pretty fun. No, I have seen that one.
Fleece Johnson. That's the guy's name. The Booty Warrior.
I've never seen it.
Dude, they had him on. He was just doing an interview from jail, so I don't know if he was ever actually on the show. But like, he's like, in prison, booty is more important than food, more important than water. It's so funny. And then they had him. I don't know if he's actually. I don't think he's on To Catch a Predator. I'm not sure though. But they had him on that, like the character of the guy, and dude, it is so fucking funny. Because Chris Hansen comes out, he's like, "Do you know who you were here to see a 13-year-old?" He's like, "Do you know who I am?" He's like, "Oh, I know who you are, Chris Hansen, but I like to call you Chris Handsome." He's like, "I didn't come here for no kid booty. I came here for man's butt."
I don't.
And he starts like flirting with them. Dude, it's so funny.
That'd
He's
be
like,
a
"We can do
funny
this
bit.
the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours."
That'd be a funny bit to like.
He's like, "Well, we won't be doing anything," and he just like attacks him. It's so funny. And then he got out of jail like this year, and he saw it, and he was like, "I'm not a fan of that."
Of the Boondocks version?
Yeah.
Bruh. That'd be a funny like excuse.
Shout out to Fleece.
Like since they always make excuses of why they're there, that'd be a funny ass
that
excuse
show's
to be like,
unbelievable.
well, I was trying to get you to show up
Yeah.
because you're hot.
No, literally, yeah. That's like basically
It's
what
like,
they do.
wow,
It's so
unfortunately,
funny.
I'm a heterosexual male
Yeah.
in a loving relationship with my wife.
Yeah, they have Chris Hansen. He's such a dork. He's
Yeah.
just like, "Well, I don't think we'll be doing anything."
He's like, well, you.
looks like it's going to be the hard way.
I'll have to look that up. That's
Dude, it's
so
so
dumb.
good. It's so funny. It's funny. We were just talking about this show like the other day, me and Moon, of like, there's
Always
compilations of just people being like, I don't know.
Of Chris Hansen.
Of like To Catch a Predator, when they're like, "Do you know that this person's 12?" And they're like, "No, I'm just coming to hang out.
I was just coming to, make sure she was safe.
I was just coming to hang out."
She
You're like, "We
told
have
me she-
texts that you're like, I want to fuck you in the mouth." It's like, oh,
He's like, well, how do you explain this text? I want to fuck you in the mouth, even though you're only 13.
right, yeah, exactly.
He's
And they're
like,
just like,
Well, I was just coming over to make sure she was safe.
Yeah, and then they're like, I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah,
and they
right.
leave and get
The cops
tased
are-
immediately. Like,
He's like, well, Jen, you can't leave. Unfortunately,
the best one is the guy comes over and he brings juice, like just juice, like orange juice or apple juice or something.
Whatever.
And like the girl's like, I'll be right back. He's like, okay. And then he just gets naked and he's just sitting in the chair like that. And then Chris Hansen walks in and he's like, you know what? Why don't you just take a seat or whatever?
Yeah, right.
And he's like,
He's
what are
like,
you
why
doing
don't you,
here?
why don't you get decent there?
And the guy's like,
buddy?
I just came to hang out. He's like, you're naked.
Yeah.
The guy's like,
He's like, listen, I was just making sure she was safe. That's like the go-to for everybody on that show.
it's like
I was-
EDP.
Yeah, for real. He just wanted to go. Apparently, he's making a comeback.
Is he?
I've
That's
heard
crazy.
that he's on like a.
That video is so funny.
I don't even know what. Maybe he's back on YouTube. I forget, but
That video is so funny. Of him getting busted. He's like, real quick, man, my life over? The guy's like, I don't know.
he
Like,
goes to crazy fucking lore about that video. The guy who interviewed him in that video like whatever, interrogated him
yeah.
essentially.
Yeah.
He was also caught as like a child predator.
No way. He was just trying to get
Deadass.
ahead of it.
Like the big dude in that
I have
video.
no idea.
You've never seen the video?
I've seen the video. I don't know who's behind the camera, though.
No, the main guy talking to EDP.
Yeah, I don't know what he looks like.
Well, he's for those who have like watched the whole.
I've
thing
only
or
seen
whatever.
like the little snippet. He's like, my life over?
Yeah, well, there's a guy that's like in the video with him for most of the video. The clip that you're talking about, he's probably just like it's just the EDP
yeah,
in
it's
the
just
frame,
him.
but
yeah.
there's another guy that's like next to him in the camera the whole time.
Do you see me fucking laughing?
Yeah, and he's like yeah, the guy he's just being a dickhead to him the entire time, which to be fair, he was a child predator.
Warranted.
But also the guy who was interviewing, like I said, interviewing whatever, he was also found to be a child
so that guy
predator.
was like, I know how to get out of this.
Yeah. Just lean into it further.
Yeah, he was just trying
Be
to
the
like
anti guy.
get his karma up or
Yeah.
whatever. And then they were
Yeah.
like,
I don't know if that was ever proven.
yeah,
I
it's still a
don't know.
crime.
Yeah.
Like, if you killed a guy and then just was like, I killed a guy who killed a guy. Like, you still killed a guy. You're like, why? I did that though. You didn't see me do that?
Yeah,
You didn't see me kill a guy? Kill the guy?
But he and
Give me this
no, but
water under the bridge. Water under the bridge.
I thought it would be
It offsets.
yeah.
PEMDAS. You never heard of PEMDAS?
the PEMDAS defense.
The,
No, but they're fucking. What was I gonna say?
the statute of limitations is PEMDAS.
Yeah, literally. No, but so EDP is on some site now. He was on like some weird like a Reddit type of fucking 4chan type of site
Ooh.
before making videos because they banned him from like whatever they banned his YouTube channel or whatever.
Why?
I don't know because he's a fucking criminal. I don't
What
know.
the hell could he have done?
Maybe that's the reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
No,
That's
they just don't
probably
like,
the
they don't like
reason.
fat people on their channel.
Yeah, right.
Not like fat people
He
on there.
exceeded the weight limit of YouTube.
No, but yeah. So but I think he's back on YouTube as far as I know.
Surprise,
who the fuck's
surprise,
watching it.
motherfucker.
You're
I'm back.
literally.
I'm
but
going to touch all you bitch kids.
you you gotta be a sick individual to subscribe to this motherfucker.
I mean, this shit was funny before. To a
No,
to a
100%,
degree.
yeah. But I'm saying the new channel. Like if you remade a new channel and you're like, oh, let me go subscribe to him again. He's a funny
Right.
guy. I was like,
Yeah, let's give him another shot.
"Ah."
Let's give him another shot.
He's actually not even that funny anymore.
No, he's more like clippable.
like
He's not
any
really,
any
like,
clip I've seen of him like post cupcake incident. I'm like, okay.
cupcake incident.
He was already falling off before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that shit's kind of fucking crazy.
I mean, what can you do?
He's like, I just wanted a cupcake. And then at the beginning, he's
I just
like,
want a
he's like, I
cupcake.
can't get a handshake.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I'm
shake
talking
his
about.
hand.
He has like his hand out. Yeah.
He's like, I don't shake hands with predators, dude.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he's also a predator.
Right. He's like, you want to
Just
know
been outed
why?
yet. He's like, well, I don't shake hands with outed predators. My bad.
I don't shake hands with predators. And the reason might shock you.
I'm Chris Hansen. I forgot.
Mask.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That would be a crazy.
It'd be crazy if
turn of
it,
events.
would be like, it was Chris Hansen,
Yeah.
and then they pulled the mask off him, and
Right.
there's the guy from the video. And
Facts.
they're like, wait a minute.
I'm Chris Hansen. This is whatever the fuck my
This is
show
To
is
Catch a
called.
Predator.
He has a bunch of different shows now. Though.
He's actually wicked funny. You ever like heard him in like interviews? He was on Part of My Take. He was
I
fucking
think I watched him
hysterical.
like Theo Vaughn or something.
Yeah, he was wicked funny.
Which is so fucking random.
I
How the
know.
fuck did that happen?
Yo, man, I knew this one guy, man. There was a kid and he was molesting adults. You're like,
Like you ever catch someone like that before?
you ever caught a kid on the
It's
show?
like, well, I did one time find
Yeah.
a guy that
one
was.
time,
Yeah.
yeah, he was
We did
going-
actually show up one time, and the man that we were supposed to meet with actually wasn't there, and so we actually just eventually just arrested the child because we figured.
They had to tase somebody. And someone was getting tased.
I
whether-
mean, it's like for good TV.
yeah,
It's like we needed to fill the episode, so we ended up just taking in the kid.
that would be funny if the kid like got scared and ran out the front door, and the cops just tased him right
Opened
away.
fire.
Like the first person they saw, like, fucking get him. You guy's a little small to be a pedophile. Yeah, you got the
Kid's just on the ground, like
I'm just twitching.
foaming at the mouth.
Like you got the wrong guy. The pedophile's
Wow, you
tasing.
actually shot the wrong guy there.
He's like, I'm glad you guys caught this guy. I was in a lot of danger.
I'm Chris Hansen. This
I'm
is
Chris
To Catch a
Hansen.
Predator. He has he has another couple shows. I forget. I think they're all like in the same
JC
vein.
Kasem. Huh?
I think they're all in like the same vein. Like
Yeah.
The show topics. I think they're all about.
It's gonna be like a tough life.
I was gonna say it's gonna be a fucking.
Like, it's gonna
dark
wear
ass
on you
life.
a little bit. Like
He also has like children. I'm pretty sure. So.
right. I guess. Well, I don't know. I mean, nothing really. In reality, I guess you're doing the opposite. Like you're not really seeing anything happen. You're preventing things from happening. So
Yeah, but I feel like in the back of your mind, you know that you're not catching everybody. So like.
yeah, true.
You're
You're
probably
probably there's
thinking, like,
so
fuck,
many.
man.
Like I'm making a living off of how many pedophiles there are in the
Yeah.
fucking world.
And he probably has like the 1%. Of
I'm
people
making a
that
living
are-
off how many pedophiles are in Daytona County.
Yeah,
alone or
literally.
whatever the fuck, wherever they film the show.
And then no, but not even that. You're only catching the 1% that's fucking stupid enough to fall for the fucking
Yeah,
bullshit
is
that
it
they
I
do.
think it's always the same place.
No, they do. I think
They
in
spread
I
it
feel
out?
like in the Theo Vaughn one, he said they film in different
'Cause
areas.
I remember that.
Areas at a
Like,
time.
I can picture like the kitchen setup in my head. Like,
Yeah, so like
But
one
it's always
season,
the
one
same, I think.
season will be in one place.
okay.
And then the next season they'll be in
You
another
think that would get out like right away?
city. What?
I guess not, because you're getting arrested. Like, you think they would just get on the. They don't go to this address.
Oh, like
Chris
Hansen's
Hansen will
around.
be there.
That's a good point.
Mm.
I don't know if they. I mean, I can't pretend that I know much about the child predator
Tell you what, man,
subreddit.
I've been out of the scene for a while.
r// child predator. I don't know.
R
What's
slash predators.
Yeah. Yeah, they probably don't. I feel like they probably don't collab.
The one guy who's a Nashville Predators fan in there. He's like, this is.
He's like, what am
you
I?
guys
on?"
haven't talked about hockey once. I don't know what is going on here. I'm trying to talk about the trade deadline.
You just post some shit about like one of the players in the Predators, and
Yeah.
everyone just downloads it. He's like, what the fuck?
Everyone seems not in. What's with the cap space?
He's
That's what I-
refreshing every day, and there's just
Right.
never. It's just even worse and
I'm
worse.
gonna tell you what,
He's
man.
like,
I'm gonna tell you what. No one seems to be worried about the cap space here. a lot of sketchy conversations going on.
r// predator, bro. That'd be so funny, just being like a public forum like that.
Yeah, right.
It's like a very easily trackable.
Yeah,
Like,
these guys are dumb enough to do shit.
no,
like that.
no. But it's
Not a
just,
lot of women. I don't feel like you see a lot of women on the show. I can't recall a single
I
woman.
feel like you can't be a woman and also a child predator. I mean, you can
you
obviously,
can, but like, yeah.
but like, what are the like? You're the one giving birth to a child. I feel like there's no way that you'd be.
yeah,
like,
the only time you see that is like the teacher stuff, and it's only because it's like a
and I wonder
technicality
how
in the
often-
law.
I was gonna say, I wonder how often that happens, like to like people that are not in high school. Even those stories that you see, like most of the time they're in high school, so like they're not adults, like they're children, but they're like 16.
Right. And it's usually like a consensual thing, but it's just
Yeah.
it's statutory because it's in
'Cause
the
it's-
law.
Yeah, the age group and the fucking.
It's the law.
buckle up. It's the law.
You can't do the time, don't do the crime. It's the law.
You ever see those signs on the highway that's like, fucking? It'll be like the big ass signs, like the electric ones.
Yeah.
The message on it will be some like fucking duh type shit. Like you're like, no fucking shit.
Oh yeah.
It's like if it's raining. The one I see all the time is if it's raining, put your windshield wipers. I mean, put your
Well, the headlights thing is new.
the headlights thing. Oh, that's a law now.
Yeah.
Is
in
that not just like
Massachusetts,
common
yeah.
sense? Who the fuck is not doing that?
I think you just yeah. It's like a yes. It's only
So
like
that's where my tax money's
7
going.
years old, I think.
How many meetings do they have to have about that one?
I think it's like a moving violation now. Or
No, but I'm saying, like-
before- yeah, I know. It seems like yes, it does seem like common
It
sense.
seems like
that
something
you-
that the mayor could just decide, or like the
Right.
governor could just decide, and there wouldn't have to be a vote. You could just be like, "Hey,
Right.
this is a new law," and then it'd be
We're
like,
doing this.
Okay.
I
The one
don't
guy
like-
who's just very, very anti-headlight. He's like, "Well, listen, my voice is not being heard." Like, who the fuck is anti-headlight?
I am in the head of the halogen bulb association, and I think we are wasting halogen bulbs. Shut the fuck up, Derek. Every week with you in the bulbs.
The Halogen Club.
Yeah. Americans for halogen
Yeah.
lighting or whatever.
There is an association these days for fucking everything.
Yeah, I know.
The American Halogen Association.
The American Halogen Association.
The
would be
AHA.
great. The AHA.
And then you go on Twitter and they somehow have 700,000 followers.
Yeah.
You're like, what the who the
All
fuck is
freaking
following
out about
this?
lumens.
Yeah. I'm like, we need to make our highways darker.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
I mean, it's just too fucking bright out there. I can hardly see, ironically, with all the light. Dude, Some of the billboards are funny. They're like, hey, if you've had 9 Jaeger bombs, don't drive.
Yeah.
Like,
Like-
who doesn't know not to do that? Like,
Yeah,
who would
like,
even be able to operate a vehicle?
Yeah.
Like,
There's very few people, at least that I know of, that accidentally drunk drive. Like most of the time, it's a very intentional activity.
Well, there's people who definitely just drunk drive, but I'm saying like,
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, but you don't need to tell them because they already know they're breaking the law. So they don't need.
yeah,
to
the decision's probably made beforehand.
yeah.
Where they're like, yeah, I'm just gonna drive, and you're like,
And you see the sign.
so should we like Uber? No, I'm gonna drive. And you're like,
Oh.
we're getting
Okay.
hammered.
Yeah, right. And then you see they see the sign on the highway and they just park on the side
Right.
and call an Uber.
Ah, I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think not to do that.
You ever seen those
You heard like the Matt Brogner bit about that?
No.
Well, like
I don't know who
it was
that
like a
is.
poster. He's a comedian. There's a poster in a liquor store for Jaeger bomb, and at the bottom it says like "drink responsibly." He's
Yeah.
like, "Who the fuck's ever drank responsibly after doing a Jaeger bomb?"
That's a good point.
He's like, "Whose one drink is a Jaeger bomb?" We're like,
all right, I'm turning in for the night, guys.
"Yeah, I'll stay for one." And he's just like, "Jaeger bomb." It's so funny. He's like, "Oops."
Everclear.
He's
It's
like,
like a serving of Everclear,
Yeah.
please, for my one drink.
He's like, "Thanks." He drinks, he goes, that smooth chemical draw.
Oh, that's fucking funny.
It's
dude.
so good. It's such a good bit. It's
You
so
ever seen
funny.
you like the Friday beers guys? You watch those guys at all?
Oh yeah, they're so good.
Dude, they had a bit about that the other day about like having one drink.
Yeah.
I don't know if you just like saw that skit when he's
No.
like, dude, it's so good. He's like, listen, I'm going home. Like, I want to have an easy night. Like, I want to turn in by 10 o'clock and be in my bed watching like The Masked Singer. And like, come on, like Billy, stop being a fucking pussy. Like, we're
The Masked
getting,
Singer.
yeah. He's like, we haven't seen you in months, dude. Like, we're getting fucked up, and then we're going to fucking the bar.
Right.
He's like, all right, I guess I'll have one beer. And then he's just like, it's just like the whole skit. He's just like cut it. It's just like basically a montage of him just like drinking. It looks like he's putting back like 15 beers.
Right.
And it just looks like he's fucking folded the whole time. He's like, they're like, oh, should we get him home? Like, and then he's just like, I'm fine, dude. Like, just like pretend to be drunk or whatever. And then he's like, he takes the kid's phone. He takes like Liam's phone. He's like, orders like Postmates. He's like, Billy, did you just fucking Postmates, dude? He's like, dude, this guy's so fucking like, we need to get him home. Like, they're like pissed he's drunk. He's like, we'll call him an Uber. So then he's like walking towards the door. Like the Uber's supposed to be there. He's like, Billy, you need me to walk you out, man? He's like, no, I'm fine. I'll find my way to the Uber. Like, just drunk as fuck.
Yeah.
He's just walking down the street, and then like Liam calls like the other guy. I think his name's Will. He calls him, and he's like, yo, Will, like, where are you, bro? Like, it's like we're at the bar already. Whatever. It's not even 10 o'clock yet. And then like he looks over at the clock, and like it's like 9:58, and Billy's just walking down the street like completely sober because he wanted to be in bed by 10 watching The Masked Singer, dude. And it's just like showing all the flashbacks. Like Will's just sitting there, like, and he like looks down at like the one glass that's like on the ground that he like broke, and it's like a fucking non-alcoholic beer. It's like the one beer he
So he's
drank.
just acting hammered.
He's just walking down the street, and then it just cuts to Billy. He's just sitting. It's like profile. He's just sitting watching The Masked Singer, just like smirking, dude. It's so good. It's so fucking good. And Will's just like,
Those guys are fucking hilarious,
the
dude.
fucking house, dude. It's
They're
so
so
good.
funny,
They
dude.
really are. They had like the guy from the fucking whitest kid you know. What's his name? Sam or whatever.
Oh, really?
They had him on a
Holy
skit
shit.
today, this morning.
That's
it just
sick.
dropped. It was pretty funny. Honestly, not one of their funniest. I won't lie,
Yeah.
but it was still pretty good.
Those guys were like the OGs. They're so funny, dude.
Yeah, and Friday Beers has poll now, so like they get like a celebrity for every
Right.
fucking every skit at this point.
Did you
They
see
get
that
somebody.
the porn one was so funny? He's doing he's like in this like a lecture hall.
Oh yeah, that guy,
Dude,
that
like, that
fucking Royce DuPont,
kills
bro.
me, dude.
Dude, Royce DuPont is the
He's like,
funniest.
keep your hand
bit.
up if you watch
There's
porn
so
this
many
week.
of those,
And he's
bro.
just like, come on, guys. Come on. He's like, raise your hand if you watched porn in the last 3 days. He's like, keep him up.
Like, no shame.
Raise your hand if you watch porn today. He's looking around. He's like, keep him up if you're watching porn right now.
Yeah.
He turns his phone on. There's just porn on his phone, dude.
He's like, I can stop
Yeah. He's like,
anytime I want,
he's like, I just don't want to.
and I just don't want to. That shit's so good, bro.
Oh, that
He
was
makes-
such a good
have
one.
you seen the other ones? Like that's like a series. Like he does
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a bit
yeah,
for
yeah,
that all
yeah,
the time.
Yeah.
He's like,
That
dude,
shit's
the
so
best one
funny.
of
He
those.
just turns his phone around.
Dude, the best one of those. he's like, some people work better under pressure, myself included. Sometimes my best ideas come when I'm under the most pressure. He's just like standing there, and someone runs up behind him, puts a fucking plastic bag over his head, and starts choking him out. He's like, ah, ah, ah. He's like on the ground, like fucking squealing and fucking screaming and shit. Like he turns around, he like flips the guy over and just chokes him out on the ground. He just runs at the whiteboard and writes Uber for dogs on the board. He's like, Uber for dogs. It's so fucking stupid, bro. And the camera pans over, and the guy's just like, Like, Crouch is dead, dude.
Oh, dude. The
It's
weird
so
roommate
good.
one was great, too. He's like, dang, I tell you, I'd be shedding my skin this week. He's just, like, lying there like in this shit, dude. Oh, my God.
And then Billy has one, too. Billy has the guy that he always does, like, the
He's like,
recurring
what's
guy.
in that box? It's my older brother, Jeremy. It's like the egg.
Dude, Billy's recurring character that he's always doing. It's always like their TikTok and shit. He's like the fucking like finance bro on the podcast.
Yeah.
And he's like, when I was a kid, I started with nothing. I started from zero and I built my fucking wealth. And he's like, so what did I do? I took out 15 credit cards and maxed them out in my son's name. Because what better to start from nothing than to start from less than nothing? He's like, and then the fucking like the words like flashing on the screen. It just says, "Trust me, I'm right." It's so fucking stupid, bro. He's like, because what better way to start than from less than nothing? And people in the comments like, this guy's a fucking asshole, like not knowing it's a bit.
Yeah,
like,
right,
bro,
right.
You people are fucking morons, dude.
Oh, dude. That's so funny.
It's so good, dude. All their shit is so fucking funny. And like I said, they're like popular enough now that they can get like celebrities on their like sketches and shit. They're so good, dude. All their shit is so fucking funny.
I was thinking of like I was listening to just like this is like completely off topic and random, but it was like Matt and Shane's secret podcast. Shane Gillis, Matt McCusker. And they were talking to Lil Sass, Lil Sass from Barstool. Yeah. They were talking about how like insane it would have been to see 9/11.
Well, actually, Lil Sass from Twitter,
right?
First and foremost.
And how it would have been like just like where they would have been like currently where they are for like if it happened in like if they were there in 2001, like how insane it would have been. And like fucking Shane was like he's like just picturing one guy just in the office building, like everything's going crazy, and he's just like, come on, one time. He tries to do the Spider-Man. He's like, fuck. And the guy, he's like, someone's seen him be like, did you just try to dude, I'm fucking trying anything, dude.
As a fucking jet flies.
Just like, dude, building. Like, just picturing a guy in the Twin Towers on 9/11 just being like, yeah, like, come on,
and just
dude.
really believing that he could actually fucking hit that shit. That was like my friend the other day did the same shit. Like, not actually serious, obviously, but he opened the freezer and he had like an ice cream that was in there. Yeah. And like he opened it and just fell out, but he just like snagged it like out of nowhere, like right before it hit the ground. He just snagged it and he was just like, it was mad funny, bro. I was like, dog, you're a fucking fool, bro.
Clown.
So fucking stupid, dude.
Dude, how about did you see the people fighting at Barbie?
No.
In the theater?
Just actual oh, wait. I did see that, but I didn't know that was at Barbie.
It was at the Barbie.
That's kind of hard.
I didn't know Barbie was rated like PG-13.
It's a fireplace to fight.
Adult movie. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's like...
I thought it was like a kid's movie.
No, I think it's like a comedy. Like an adult comedy kind of
weird.
thing. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, so...
I haven't either.
It's been sold out.
Everyone's been like, dude, it's so anti-man. I'm like, you're going to Barbie.
Yeah, what the fuck did you... Yeah,
like, what did you...
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
like, dude,
what the fuck did you expect?
You're going to Barbie.
Did you see all the promo that they did for that? I saw like a thread on Twitter. It was like a 50-tweet thread of like... I don't know. But it was actually fire. Every like tweet was like a different like level of promotion that they did, like a different way of promoting it.
No.
Bro, they had this fucking... Had to be the size of a fucking building. Like one of those 3D like holographic thing, like advertisements. You ever seen those like in New York? The corner of the building like, looks like it's like...
It looks yes.
They had one of those like Dubai. It's just a fucking... It had to be like 100 feet tall. It's just like a Barbie like walking out of the box or whatever.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then there was like a... I mean, there's a bunch of shit that you probably saw. Like the fucking... Someone like in Malibu, they remade Barbie's house in like a mansion in Malibu.
Yep.
Like, and then they
had Margot Robbie rob a bank dressed as Barbie.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Just gets insane.
Yeah. No, and then they had so Margot Robbie did do like a house tour of like Barbie's house.
Yeah.
And then they had like Ryan Gosling did like an interview as Ken.
Yeah, I saw
like
that.
the GQ interview or whatever.
It was like funny though.
Yeah. But he was like pretending to be Ken.
Yep.
And they had a bunch of ones, bro. There were so many collabs that I didn't even know about. Like, they had like one for like fucking Forza. Had like you could buy Barbie's car in the game.
Oh really?
Yeah, there was like makeup lines. There was like clothing lines, like just everything. I was like,
it's insane.
Holy shit!
I'm like
the marketing budget had to be like $500 million for the amount of shit that they were doing.
People are freaking the fuck out about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably see it at some point. It did look pretty funny.
If it's funny, I'd see it.
Ryan Gosling's a pretty funny dude overall.
Yeah, he's funny.
So I'll probably see it at
Let's
some
see
point.
what it did. Let's see. Barbie opening.
It profited after the first night. I know that much.
Numbers.
Like it broke. It turned a
Jesus.
profit after night one.
Holy fuck.
Opening night or whatever.
Barbie collected 162 million on opening weekend.
Yeah, and the budget was like 140 or something. I think.
Oppenheimer 82.4. Mission Impossible.
I'm glad, bro. I don't.
Sound of Freedom 66 million.
Maybe you have some insight on this. What is the appeal for Oppenheimer? Because I have
Fucking sick.
I have no idea. Like I've never wanted to know who made the first nuke, and I never cared, and I still don't really care. I saw people being like, "Bro, this is gonna be the best movie ever made."
It's just
I'm
like a cool historical piece that I don't think they make a lot
Is
of
it
like
though?
history pieces anymore. Like did you see the new Napoleon coming out with Joaquin Phoenix?
Bonaparte.
Napoleon.
He's kind of the opposite of Napoleon, is he not? Isn't he like 6'2"?
I don't know.
Pretty sure he's like tall.
Yeah,
as
everyone
fuck.
else in the movie is 7 feet tall. It's
So they
crazy.
Hire half the NBA. Like,
Yeah, they hired all of Norway.
Yeah.
to fucking whatever.
I feel like he's tall as fuck.
I don't know. Like it looks
Is
sick.
he playing Napoleon?
Yeah, and it looks.
He does have a
fucking sick.
Napoleonic face, I will say.
He does have a very
He has
like
a very, like,
Napoleonic, like
Triangular face.
French. Yeah, like yes.
Like that type of face.
He's going to this.
Like you wouldn't be
Shoots them
surprised
right now.
if you heard him say
Well, because
that.
like I think everyone knows who Napoleon is. Like you've heard of him, and like Napoleonic complex and all that, like
Yeah.
that phrase or whatever. But like, I don't know if you're like into history. It's cool. Like,
Well,
I
I
love
say,
history,
if I
so it's
may,
dope.
that might be the most accurate thing ever. I've never met a shorter person that doesn't have that.
Right. It is like the OG. Like I'm
Yeah.
short and I'm angry about it.
Yeah. Like they're
But
always just
the thing
dickheads.
is, he conquered
Anyways.
like the world, and most people are just like,
I didn't
"Dude,
know
you
that.
should show me some fucking respect. I don't why. Why are women mean to me?" Yeah.
And they're all just like, oh.
I'm just like, "Ping." See you later, dude.
The fucking Night at the Museum, the little
Right.
fuckers that are like
Yeah, yeah,
Ben
yeah.
Stiller's
literally,
character.
dude,
I mean,
yeah.
Ben Stiller. Fucking
Ben Stiller.
whatever. Owen Wilson's character.
Owen Wilson. Wow. Yeah, it just looks sick. Like Oppenheimer is just cool because it's like it's so like.
I'm assuming you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't
either.
seen it, no.
Okay.
But like, if you think about it, World War II was almost 100 years ago. Like it was 80 something years ago when it ended.
Yeah.
So like, it's a very important. Like when you hear about
Historical
World War
piece.
One,
Never.
and it's
Except,
like
like,
massively important, significant event that like.
Battlefield 5 or 1 or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just like I feel like it's like people
I couldn't tell you anything about it, so yeah, you're right.
like I don't know, how do I word
The
this?
sequel is way better.
Like people know what Vietnam is too and shit. Obviously, like you know
Yeah.
about Vietnam, but
Yeah.
like you don't know like the significance of. Like I was talking to fucking Grampy and Uncle Mike about it, who are in their Grampy's 73, Uncle Mike's 68 or something or whatever. Like
Whatever.
they're old, but they lived through it.
Yeah.
So it's like to us, we're like, yeah, Vietnam was
Did
fucked.
they go to Vietnam?
Grampy said he got drafted, but he has like a metal plate in his head, so he was
Oh, true.
medically exempt. And then
Fucking
Mike was too
moron.
young. Yeah, fucking idiot. And then Mike's too young. Wayne was too young, and Kenny
Okay.
was too young as well.
Okay,
Or Kenny
okay.
tore his ACL or something, so like he couldn't. Same thing, like medically exempt. But Grampy actually got drafted, and
That's
then
hard.
never got to go.
He put on the hat, like the
Yeah.
United States hat.
Yeah, he bought a biplane. But like
He's-
no, but
they're all
that's
sitting there
that's
on
like,
the
obviously you know Vietnam's like a terrible war, crazy war. But if you don't look that far into it, you're like it's just but like the
Yeah.
day, like what it was like to live in America during that time
Yeah, the
is like
day-to-day.
insane. Yeah, like the day to day,
Facts.
like all that shit. So I think it's something to do with that, where it's like people like, yeah, we know we dropped 2 bombs in Japan, but then you actually delve deeper into like
Yeah.
how insane it is that
Facts.
what happened and like the thought of it and like the concept and the invention and then like the significance of it and like blah blah blah. It's nuts.
Have you been paying attention? We probably shouldn't even fucking whatever. But have you been paying attention to the like the strike or whatever that's going on?
The Actors
Yeah.
Guild and all that.
Well,
Yeah.
so first was the
somewhat.
Writers Guild that went on strike, and then the Actors Guild also went on strike. But basically,
Ye-
do you know like anything about it? Or
yeah,
I can
not
give you a
really.
little breakdown if you want, a little quick
Yeah.
synop. So basically, the writers' strike.
Tell them to bring out the synop.
I don't actually know all the details, so I could be a little bit off here, but I know the generals of it. So basically, the writers went on strike because they want to basically protect themselves from like AI and shit like that being like substituting in for them and like writing movies and shit for them. I mean, that's not all of the reason why they went on strike, but that's like part of it.
Yeah.
And there was also the Actors Guild went on strike because of the like streaming services. So like when you watch fucking I don't know Stranger Things on Netflix, that's a terrible example because that's a Netflix original actually. When you watch fucking Anchorman on Netflix, I don't know.
Okay.
Like Will Ferrell doesn't get paid from that
Oh,
at all.
really?
Is
Doesn't get
gonna
anything from
no, nothing.
That's weird.
That's how it is right now. Well, that's because shit went so quickly. Like streaming
Wasn't this-
services
yeah,
became
it
a
was
thing
the same
so
thing with
fast.
music. Didn't this same thing happen with music like
Kind of.
15 years ago?
Yeah, pretty much. And so they're not getting like residuals from it. So they're on strike, being like, we're not fucking
Right.
gonna work for free, essentially. Because
Right. Because you could
now,
probably-
I mean, think about how much shit is just like straight to.
yeah, I was gonna
streaming
say
nowadays.
like Oppenheimer came out this weekend. You could probably watch it at home for the price of a ticket next
yeah,
weekend if
in
you
a couple
wanted
weeks.
to.
Yeah, exactly. So there's like a whole thing going on with that, and then there's also a thing which is kind of fucking crazy. Another AI related thing. Basically, what they
AI.
want to do is like they want to have. So like, say you wanted to, you can just like apply to be like an extra in a movie if they're filming in here, around here, whatever.
Yeah.
So like you can apply to be an extra. So what they want you to do is they're gonna give you fucking $1,000 to be an extra in their movie.
Sure.
But then they're gonna scan your face and then just use you for every movie in the future.
Right.
And they're like, we'll just give you $1,000 for it, and that's it. And then you can fuck off, and then we don't need to hire extras anymore.
Right. Right.
And so they're like, well, we're not doing that either, because that's also fucking bullshit. Because if you're gonna make it, so like right now, obviously it wouldn't matter if you're only in one movie. But if you think about it, like if a studio, like a Netflix studio, who makes shows and movies all the time, you know what I mean? Like if they use your likeness, they might use your likeness in 15 different shows.
Right. And it
or
also doesn't
movies.
take like anything really to like
No.
your likeness can actually just be enough to like make you famous or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Regardless, though, it's like
That reminds me of,
it's
like-
you. It's they're using your
Right.
they're using your property at the end of the day,
Right.
and they're just basically you're just saving them money in the future, which
Right.
is like, why the fuck would you want to do that?
Right.
They're not paying you enough money.
When they
to
make
wanna do
enough
that.
to just pay
Maybe if
you.
they gave you $100,000, you'd be like, yeah,
Right.
sure,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
But
That reminds me of like remember like the Ohio State girl or like the USC girl when it was like the
No.
bowl games and they would just like really quickly show a fan on TV and everyone was like, this girl is so hot. Like
it's the
who
same
is
girl
this
every
fuck-
time.
No, it's not the same girl every time, but it's like that girl. I remember that specifically. I think it was
Oh,
Ohio
you're saying,
State.
okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I think it was Ohio State game. Like they just panned to this girl in the crowd real quick and she was like biting her nails or whatever, and everyone was like, holy shit, this girl's a fucking rocket. And then like Barstool was like
what's her at?
someone
What's her at?
someone
What's her
like
at?
posted a video of it on Twitter. And, like,
Yeah.
and then it was just like Ohio State girl, and then Barstool came with an article. It was like the Ohio State girl was located within 2 minutes thanks to
We found
Twitter
her.
or something, whatever. And
Yeah,
then like
yeah.
her Instagram blows up from that, like
Yeah.
just because of her face.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing of like if
Yeah,
she was just a super
essentially.
hot extra in a movie, and they just kept using her, and then everyone would be like, "Who's this
essentially.
fucking girl?"
And it's like they don't want to pay people. They want to pay you one time, which again, it doesn't matter if they make one movie with it, but
Right.
again, they're buying your likeness forever. So like they could just use you for the next 100 years, and you're not getting paid for any of it.
Right. Right.
So they're basically just trying to cut corners that way. And it's essentially what's fucking stupid about it is that the studios were the ones who fucked this whole thing up, because so Netflix is successful because they have the streaming software, but they also have a studio that they've like created. Like Stranger Things is like a Netflix original because the people who own Netflix made the show
Right.
like in their studio.
Right.
So you take like something like HBO Max, where they basically were making like they basically are like taking movies, and you can watch Harry Potter on HBO Max.
Yes.
But they didn't make Harry Potter.
right.
So it's like they're streaming this. You're not getting any money if you're fucking Daniel Radcliffe. You're not getting any money from it.
yeah.
But people are watching your movie over and over
Right,
again. It's the
right.
only place you can access the movie unless you literally go to the store and buy a disc, which obviously nobody's doing. So
Right.
basically, the fucking studios just shot themselves in the foot, and now they're trying to figure out how to get their way out of it, because they don't want to pay residuals for these people because they can't afford it, because they're not making enough money off streaming.
right.
if
But
that
if you
makes
just pay like
sense.
a
But it's
minimal
like-
amount, like
Yeah, but it's like that's the thing.
so they
It's
have
like,
to redo like all of it now. Like the studios are gonna have to get paid more from streaming services.
something like that. But it's
and
like,
then they'll
and
have
it's
to
like
pay
if
actors and then
yeah, but it's like it's just unrealistic, which is why the strike is like a little confusing, because it's like
yeah.
there really doesn't seem to be like a
A resolve.
win-win for anybody. Like
Right.
that there
Well, the
is at
win-win is
moment.
gonna have to be either the
It's gonna have to be the CEOs of the studios making less money. That's the only way to
Right.
really do it right now. But then,
or
then,
they make this more money, but they have to pay more, and then the price of subscriptions would probably go up.
but
and
then,
you would
but then you
lose
think about
subscriptions.
yeah, they're already expensive though, so people aren't gonna pay like.
Right.
I mean, maybe if you don't mind paying the extra money because you use this shit all the time, but there's gonna be people out there that are like, I don't really use HBO Max that much, so I'll just
Right.
cancel it.
I'm not paying $20 a month.
And that's a bad example because HBO Max is like probably the second most popular one behind
Right,
Netflix.
but yes,
like
no, I see what you're
Paramount
saying.
Plus or like Disney Plus, like
Right.
I think Disney Plus is kind of in like the biggest trouble right now because they have such a like not shitty catalog, I guess, but like a lot of it is like
Very
Disney
specific.
products, and it's like they're not really like generalized. Like HBO's okay because they have so much shit on their platform, like people are gonna stay just because of how much shit is there.
Right.
But like a company like Disney, like if they go up $5 a month, like people are just gonna be like, I don't really even watch Disney.
Right. I
movies
just use
that
it like
much."
twice a month to watch
Yeah.
one movie with my girlfriend or
Exactly.
something.
So they're just gonna probably just cancel, and then they're gonna
Right.
lose a bunch of subscriptions. So like I said, the real solution is that the CEOs and the higher ups of the company just have to just take massive pay cuts and pay their actors,
Yeah.
which obviously makes sense, but they're not
They're
gonna,
not gonna
do
do
that.
that, yeah.
So there was a whole thing where like the I want to say it was the guy who, I forget who said it. Maybe it was like an anonymous CEO of one of the companies was like, we're basically just gonna hold out, and like people are gonna lose their jobs, like meaning actors and writers
Yeah.
are gonna lose their jobs, and they're gonna lose their homes and shit, and then they're gonna fold because they have no other option.
Right.
So then a lot of the actors were like, well, that's fucking stupid. Like, cause
Right.
how are you guys gonna make money if we don't
diabolical.
exist? Yeah, and it's like, I mean, first off, ethically, obviously that's fucking
Right. But
like fucked. But like
cash rules everything around.
again, yeah, how are they gonna make new movies when nobody's there to be an actor?
Right.
And so what they're doing is they're hiring people like fucking TikTok stars and shit. Like there's this one girl on TikTok who, one of her TikToks blew up recently.
Right.
And oh, you know who it was? It was the fucking girl who's doing that stupid AI shit. You know her?
They're like,
Yep, that
Yeah.
girl. Yeah, so she posted TikTok the other day like, "Oh, I'm going to Hollywood." So what they're doing is they're probably just recruiting popular.
yeah, but she's
people.
gonna get fucking murdered
course.
online.
Of
like,
course,
'cause
but
you're crossing a picket line.
that's their solution is to just hire new people that that haven't got a shot,
That doesn't.
that want to be actors but they haven't got their shot yet. They're just gonna try to find those people and do
I
that.
feel like that won't work either, though.
Yeah, I mean
'cause
we'll
there's
see.
enough people
I don't
that
think it
are
will
like-
either, but I mean,
Would maybe go watch that, but you're not gonna make the profit that you would have with actual actors.
100%,
And also,
yeah.
those people are getting harassed so badly online,
yeah,
as they should, honestly, because
I mean that's
you're
fucked up. Yeah,
right. Like, granted, it's like
I get it. You're going for like your dream or whatever, but that's not the way to
right.
do
It's
it.
hard to understand if you're not like.
Because
around
also,
it.
what do you think's gonna happen when you say you make a movie? It's good, whatever it sells. Like, what do you think's gonna happen to you? You're just gonna be the next actor that's just getting fucked over by a streaming service.
Right. Exactly.
it's like-
yeah.
It's like, yeah, people are.
And people aren't gonna. No one's gonna work
no one
with
gives
you
a
either.
I'm not like. There's so many movies where I've watched because of the actor in the movie. I'm like,
Right.
this guy's a good actor. This movie's probably pretty good as a result.
Right.
And usually it is. But if it's like a random I've never heard of, unless it's like a director who's well known, then I'm probably not watching it. And the directors are also on strike with all the other people, obviously.
Also,
so.
fucking, why are you hiring that lady?
I don't know, she's just popular. I don't actually know if that's
so
what it
good,
was. She
so
just
good.
she
Ice
posted
cream.
she posted a TikTok saying like I'm on my way to Hollywood or something like that. So
Yeah.
I don't actually know if that's like
Right.
people are just kind of like suspecting
right.
like, oh, that's probably what they're doing.
But like, what have you seen of her that conjures you to think, oh, this woman can actually act in a movie? Like, no, she's
Yeah,
just
nothing.
popular.
She's just popular. Yeah,
Like-
exactly. Which is why I'm like maybe they
And actually, she shows she has almost no acting skills.
yeah,
She's like mimicking skills.
truly,
but
yeah, she really isn't
Ice
doing too
cream.
much. I mean,
so good.
get your fucking bag, but still.
She's like, oh,
Yeah, she's
just making noises.
yeah, she really is, bro.
That shit is bizarre. I'll never understand that.
I don't even want to talk about it. I
Yeah.
swear, literally every podcast in the last 2 weeks has just been like hammering that fucking
Yeah.
that girl's TikTok. So
Yeah.
yeah, ice cream so good.
Ice
Yeah.
cream, so good. Strong
Yeah,
woman.
I actually saw a funny one though.
Strong
Speaking of
woman.
that, it's fucking Meat
Ice
Canyon.
cream. Huh?
You know Meat Canyon.
Sure don't.
You don't know who Meat Canyon is? Yeah, you do. It's the
Yeah.
guys who do like the fucking like those like super weird like cartoons on YouTube where like the Ronald McDonald and the fucking. Of course, I'm blanking on them all right now. But you've
Mm.
definitely seen them. You just probably didn't know who it was. But, dude, fuck, I'm trying to think of like. I'm trying to think of like a good example, like his most popular one. He did like the just look up Meat Canyon on YouTube, just real quick. You'll see it. Like just based on the thumbnail, you'll know who he is. I bet.
Meat Canyon,
Yeah.
like the Grand Canyon.
Yes. You'll probably see once you see a thumbnail. You'll be like, oh, I've seen this guy's cartoons before. It's really weird, like fucked up cartoons.
Sure, I guess yeah.
Anyways,
I think I've seen this.
He's a funny ass dude, but he made one the other day. Like we get like the TikTok overlay, and he's just like saying like bullshit, dude. It's actually so funny.
This is very off-putting. Whatever this
Yeah.
is.
I'm surprised you haven't seen them before.
I think
That's
I
kind of
have.
the point. They're all supposed to be like gross and like fucking weird. He's wicked funny. That guy, like his name's Hunter. He's wicked funny, but
Not a fan. I don't know what the fuck this is.
no,
but
I'll show you one later. You'll definitely laugh at it. It's like gross, obviously, but it's like wicked.
Oh,
It's so
yo,
funny.
never mind. I have seen this guy actually.
Yeah, the Bugs Bunny one or
He's like,
something.
yeah, the SpongeBob one. I think
Hunting
I've seen
rabbits.
that.
Yeah, the SpongeBob. Yeah, he has so many at this point. I like
Yeah,
forget
I'm
them.
not a fan of this. It's very it's upsetting to look at.
Well, if you watch the guy's content, like the guy who makes it, like if you just watch his content, like
Yeah.
that's what he makes. He draws those, obviously, and he records whatever.
Yeah.
But like he has other content that's like him. He's like a funny guy. Like, you'd think he's pretty funny, I think. But anyways, he made like a funny ass fucking like
AI challenge.
Yeah, like he's just like joking around, but he put it on his Instagram. I saw it earlier today. That shit was so fucking funny, dude. Anyways,
It's upsetting. It's upsetting to look at.
Yeah, I mean that's the point.
Yeah,
it's got clicks though. Look at the fucking views, buddy.
Huh?
I said, look at the fucking views, buddy.
Look at the buds, buddy.
Look at the fucking views, buddy.
Look at the views, buddy.
Tune in.
Well, let's
Stay
circle
woke.
back.
Wait, can I say one more thing before we fucking go
Yeah,
to your
I'll
topic?
tell you what. Chime in, then we'll circle back.
We'll touch upon that.
Tell you what, let's touch
Towards
base
it.
right now. Chime in, then
No,
we'll
it's
circle
always,
back.
it's always this. It's always the two fingers.
Tell you what, chime in, we'll circle back.
Let's
Let's put a pin in that, and then we'll circle back.
This is gonna be like no one's gonna get this, but this is just something I wanted to tell you because it's mad funny. You might have been. This might have been when we were at breakfast the other day with mom.
Yeah,
And she was saying that. Fucking our aunt was saying like, "What's up with all this woke stuff?" Like, are you?
Oh
guys
yeah,
woke?
yeah.
Dude, that shit had me fucking dying, bro. That
What?
shit is so good. That's just like typical fucking like that age group of just people that just have no clue what's going on, and
Who are
they're
just like using like
yeah,
keywords to
Yeah,
try to like start a
yeah. They
conversation.
just saw like a keyword on fucking Fox.
Like, what's up with all
News
this
or
sleek
CNN.
shit?
Yeah.
You're like, what? Like,
You ever see that meme where he's like, "Son, what's a femboy?"
no.
Dude. It's like a text thread between his dad and like a dad and his son. He's like, "Son, what is a femboy?"
There's no where it's like, your brother said he's going goblin mode or something.
Yeah.
They're like, run. He's like, what does it mean? He's like, fucking run. Your
Anyways,
brother's screaming and saying he's going goblin mode.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That shit's so funny, bro.
Yeah, that is very on brand for like that age group of like
Yeah.
the baby boomer kids or whatever. Yeah, to
They just
be
missed
like,
the cut.
yeah,
Like, they're not
like,
young enough to use the internet, but they're also not old enough to like be completely out of it.
correct. Like they can
Like, our
navigate.
parents don't really use the internet, but they
No,
use
but
it
they can
enough
navigate
to know.
a phone,
Yeah,
and they're like smart enough to. That's what I was saying. The same example of like watching guys at work showing me videos. Being like, can you believe this? And I'm like, yes, it's fake.
it's like a UFO touching down, aliens getting out and like kidnapping someone and
Yeah.
then leaving, and you're
Like
like,
they were just talking about UFOs, dude. Look at. I'm like, are you fucking
you
like,
really don't think this
how?
would be national news if someone got abducted by an alien on video?
right?
Like,
Like you know, they'd be
like
like
the entire nation
the world
would
shut down.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
yeah.
Literally, the entire globe would be like, wait,
right.
we should look into this. If this is a real authentic video,
Yeah. They should like older people, like anyone like
they should make YouTube.
let's say
YouTube
like
geezers.
55.
You know, YouTube kids.
Yes.
The opposite. YouTube geezers.
Yeah,
just
55
all-
and older should just have like a limited access to the internet. You
Just
know, like when
all
you're a
world-
kid and you have a
it's-
phone that can only call home and the
Yeah.
police, like
Yeah.
something like that for the internet. Like
Dude, it's like they fucking.
you don't have access to like other mainstream shit because
It's like it's YouTube kids except like all this like crossword tutorials and like fucking and like like Sudoku puzzles and shit.
Right. They're like, yeah, well, fucking, that's why 250 million Americans were killed in the Iraq War. And I'm like, what? Like, this is not even like,
Yeah,
that's
like,
more than people live in the
I
country.
was just saying, do we even have that many?
Right.
Jesus
I fucking saw it in the fucking thing.
on Fox News, and it was a fucking typo.
No, it's just some guy
Yeah,
who's my age
yeah.
trolling
It's
old
Alex
people.
Jones.
Like, and it's working. Like, just making shit up that's obviously fake. And then they're just like,
Dude, I was
What?
showing. I was playing a game with my coworker the other day. Like I was on whatever, we playing Rocket League,
mm.
and he's like 17, like he's going to his senior year of high school. So I was like showing him shit that like he's never seen before, like the fucking just like Alex Jones clips and like just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
stupid shit like that, bro. He was literally crying, bro. And I showed him that fucking rev up their Bugatti. I said that, bro. This kid was fucking rolling.
Rev
dude.
up the
It was so good.
podcast.
It was so fucking good, dude.
Another clip, dude. I can't stop saying it. I've been saying it like all week. It was again from Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. They were talking about it, but it was a video of DJ Khaled. Have you seen the video? He's like, bring out the whole ocean. You ever seen that?
No. I
Oh
don't
my
think so.
god. He's like cooking food or something like that. He's in the kitchen and then he's like making like a ton of shrimp or something. He's like, tell him to bring out the whole ocean. And he's doing this weird voice that's
DJ
like,
Khaled.
yeah, it sounds like Riff Raff almost. Like he's like, tell him to bring out the whole ocean. Like,
Dude, what the fuck? What is that?
just
Just crab legs and shit.
hold on.
Yeah.
Ready?
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
Tell him to bring out the whole ocean.
Yeah, what
But
the
I just
fuck?
keep saying it for like everything. Like This kid was like, we have 3/4 minis. I'm like, tell him to bring out the 3/4 minis. Like, oh, dude.
It's so stupid.
I've been saying it all. It's like stuck in my head. I can't stop saying it, dude.
Dude, DJ Khaled.
Tell him to bring out the podcast.
You ever seen those fucking DJ Khaled clips where he's just like, it's like the background music of him like dancing and shit?
Yeah.
That shit's just so good, bro.
The funniest
That's
one, my favorite one of him, I don't know why, it makes me laugh every time, is when he's eating and he's like, he like stands up and just stares, dude, like all like, dude, I don't know why that always makes me laugh, dude.
That shit's good, dude.
Well, we're going to circle back now. We'll put a pin in this.
We'll come back to this. Karen, can you just write that one down? We'll come back to that one. Thanks. Susan. Sorry. Susan.
You got it.
We'll just get the numbers.
Susan, did you write it down? Did you write it down?
Hold on one second.
Susan! Did you fucking write it down?
We'll deal with her afterwards.
Fucking write it down.
Yeah. we'll deal with her afterwards.
Tell her to write it down.
Tell her to write down the whole
Tell her to write down all the words. Oh, I don't know why. Tell her to bring out the whole
A
ocean.
little Obama in there as well.
Yeah, tell her to bring out the whole ocean.
Tell her to bring out the whole ocean.
Well, fellow Americans, we're going to bring out the whole ocean.
Dude, that just
Cook
reminded
it
me. We need to get on track, but one more thing.
Yeah.
The fucking I think it was like Tiny Meat Gang talking about it. They were talking about fucking Dana White's like Fuck It Friday. But, like murdering
He's
someone in
screaming.
international waters. Because like it's like there's no laws out there.
Yeah.
He's like, according to maritime laws, we can legally assassinate someone on our crew.
It's fucking Friday.
Yeah,
So
it's
he's
fucking
screaming.
Friday. I just did 4 shots of Howler Head.
What's going on, everyone? It's fucking Friday. We're going to cook up a fucking Rice Krispie sirloin steak. You're like, what?
What the fuck?
How is that going to be good?
It's like, it tastes like shit actually.
Yeah,
1
he eats
out
it.
of
He's
10.
like, not good.
No shit. I could have told you that before you made it. The fuck?
Oh, dude.
Just
He's like,
combining the worst fucking
150 grams of sugar to the face. And he's like, this is too sweet.
and fucking 60 fucking grams of protein, like all at once.
You're like, a 3-year-old could have told you that wouldn't have been good before you ate it. Like, they would have been like, ugh.
Oh shit! We're in international waters, and we're gonna actually murder Jennifer.
We're gonna cook it.
Fucking Friday, yeah. Gonna saute Jennifer's innards.
We're gonna have broiled assistant. You're like, ugh.
She's like, wait, what?
Yeah. All right,
Back over her.
put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that.
Anyway, Susan, please.
So we'll circle back to Oppenheimer because we're gonna talk about the atomic bomb today.
Okay.
So
Live demonstration.
yeah, that meme where it just blows up the screen. Anyway, just look at the
Yeah. Didn't they use real effects for that? Was that true?
What?
Didn't they end up using like real special, not action?
I don't think they detonated an atomic bomb.
Well,
for
not
them.
an atomic bomb, but a bomb.
I'm sure they used something.
I
Wait,
think they detonated real bombs.
who's the guy who did Interstellar? Was that Christopher Nolan? Wait, who did this?
Christopher Nolan did Oppenheimer.
Christopher Nolan did Oppenheimer.
I don't
Who
know
am
about
thinking of?
Interstellar. I've never seen it.
James Cameron? No.
No.
Hold on.
Uh,
Let me check this real
I
quick.
feel like it's like Scorsese or some shit. One of those
Interstellar.
fuckers. It's Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah. Oh, it was Christopher Nolan. So they
Okay.
probably did, yes.
I
Because
saw
Christopher
something
Nolan
like 4
doesn't
years
like
ago.
use CGI.
Yeah,
He
when they
hates
started
using
filming.
CGI.
Yeah.
So like,
You don't remember those memes that were going around where it's like Christopher Nolan after fucking
yeah,
day 1 on set, and it's just the nuke going off.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. They actually just redid the Trinity test.
Yeah, it's like
The
the
fucking-
fucking Fallout shelter, like when they're all running to the fucking shelter at the beginning
Yeah,
of Fallout. It's like
yeah.
Christopher Nolan, day 1 on set.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about the atomic bomb and how crazy was it?
Right.
Huh?
Right.
Random. I just listened to like a huge, like 7-hour podcast on this. It was fucking sick.
7 hours?
I think it was 6 actually, not
The
7.
entire work shift? You're just locked the fuck in?
Yes, correct. Well, not all of it. I mean, I wanted to focus, so like mostly on the ride in, and then like at times, but I was like, "Tell him to bring out the podcast." No, so it's called. If anyone wants to check it out, Dan Carlin's Hardcore History, and it's called "The Destroyer of Worlds." I think is the episode. This guy's sick. He does like I love history.
He's
I
got
think
like the fucking...
very
He's got the earpiece mic. He's like, so...
yeah.
Today's history lesson.
I mean, he talks like this. He's like very dramatic.
For 6 hours straight.
Not like everything, but he's like,
Let me
the
introduce
atomic
you
bomb was
to
just-
William J. Oppenheimer.
It was so important.
That's definitely not his first name.
But also, what if you had to press the button
No,
yourself?
that's why it was 6 hours long. He's pausing behind every fucking
Imagine
word.
the guilt, the weight on your shoulders.
This
Like-
episode's
It
brought
does
to you
look
by
shit.
Blue Chew.
Yeah, no, he doesn't do anything like
Halfway
that.
through the episode.
Like this guy
episode's
goes
brought to you
fucking.
by Blue Chew.
He started this podcast in 2015. There's only 14 episodes because it's so long.
Wow.
Like, it's insane.
His ads are just mad insensitive.
So this one,
He's like, you ever been hurt in an accident? Call Morgan and Morgan.
this was this was 5 hours 50 minutes. This one, but like he's doing one right now. I think he finished it. It started in 2018, and it's
The
on
episode?
the
A recording of the episode?
the recording of the topic started in 2018. It's like the Japanese point of view in World War II. Like,
Okay.
because people always talk about like blah blah blah. But he's like, how was it? What was it like for the Japanese? So the episodes are 4.5 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 4 hours, 3.5, 6, 6.
Who the fuck has that
5.
kind of time? I won't lie.
It's like 27 hours of whatever. Like he just studies one thing for like a long time and then
No,
does like
yeah.
a really in-depth thing. It's good. But this one's about the atomic bomb. So I figured in honor of Oppenheimer, we would do that.
In honor of Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, so it's fucking insane, dude. It really is like
That's
obviously it's like on the surface alone.
That's the topic.
Crazy.
It's fucking insane, dude.
And that's all the time we
Anyways.
have. No, but it's like the significance of it and then like what it led to. So I'm not talking just about like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. I'm talking about like the impact that it has. So, Mr. Oppenheimer, Robert Oppenheimer.
His first name is Jay.
Is,
The first initial, I mean?
Julius
Okay.
Robert Oppenheimer.
Okay,
That's
okay.
his real name. American theoretical physicist, director of the Manhattan Project, which was the development of the atomic bomb.
Wait, he's American? Or is that Cat?
He is American. He is an American theoretical whatever.
I wonder where he's actually
He was
from.
born in New York City, April 22nd.
Or I meant not where he's from. I meant like what his heritage is. Anyway.
I believe German. I think.
Oppenheimer. That sounds German as
Yeah.
fuck. Descendant of
Went
a
to Harvard. Went to University of Cambridge. So he's definitely from here. But what the fuck was I gonna say? God damn it! I lost my train of thought. Oh, so they bring him in during World War II. He was born in 1904, so he's like 40 when they are like
Yeah.
trying to like really nail down this whole thing.
I'm really trying to step on him.
1942, he's recruited. 1943 was appointed director of projects, Los Alamos Laboratory, New Mexico. So that's where like Bob Lazar worked and shit too, and like the
Yeah.
reverse engineering of UFOs. It's very like it's Area 51.
Yeah.
He was tasked with developing the first nuclear weapons. So now, like all of our lives, all of our parents' lives, all of Grampy's life, I think, roughly has been in the
Close
nuclear age. Like
Post.
we all
nuclear
know about nukes, we all know
warheads.
about what they can do, blah blah blah. But like up to this point, it wasn't even like a thought. Like no
Yeah,
one.
no one knew it existed until it was created.
The biggest bomb they'd ever set
Typical
off was, like,
technology.
significantly smaller than anything like that they had done up to that point.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's very smart, obviously. July 16th, 1945. Is known as the Trinity test. Let me get a little more detail on this. Sorry, I was a little underprepared, but okay. July 16th, 1945. Plutonium implosion device was tested at a site 210 miles south of Los Alamos, New Mexico, in the plains of the Almagadoro bombing range, known as the Jordana del Muerto. The code name for the test was Trinity. So basically, they went off. He takes us all this time of like, they were like, we need to develop a bomb that like, fucking sends a message.
Yeah.
Because at this
Right.
point, all you hear about with post World War II is like the might of the Americans and the
World War
might of
One.
the Russians and no World War II of like
Okay.
how we just defeated them
Oh,
and like
okay,
we
okay. Gotcha,
overcame them,
gotcha.
blah blah blah. But like we were truly like not doing bad, but like things were like a stalemate.
We weren't about that.
We were about it, but we just weren't. I mean, they was about it too. So like things were at a stalemate, and like we needed an upper edge. Excuse me. The concept of like an atomic bomb wasn't even like a thing.
Yeah.
So we had that upper edge of like, we need a bomb that's going to send a message. We want to drop the biggest bomb that's ever been made. We're going to do it to them and really be like, this is what the fuck's up. Like,
Right.
whatever. So he's like tasked with coming up with this bomb. So he's a theoretical, whatever the fuck, theoretical physicist. So he's like, what if we did like nuclear fusion or use
He's like,
atomic
well,
energy? So they're like,
There's
I
just
mean,
one way.
I mean, if you can figure it out, go for it. But so he starts developing it. They test it for the first time, and it's like insane.
Yeah.
They drop it. It's like not way bigger, but
It's like that meme of the Krusty Krab exploding and Patrick's flying away.
literally. It's like yeah, but it's larger than like they even predicted or expected or whatever. So everyone's just kind of like, holy shit. And then Oppenheimer is like, God damn, like I did not know I was gonna do that. And he is like, holy shit.
He's like, huh? Huh?
There's a famous yeah.
That's the famous quote.
It's a wave go by them. There's skeletons.
Yeah, all their skin just disappears.
So he has that famous quote, "I am become death, destroyer of worlds."
Yeah.
Like right after the
Apparently
test.
he's allegedly from America, but he doesn't even know how to speak English.
It's a Latin quote, so
Okay.
he did say it correctly. It's just like photonically incorrect. But
Okay.
whatever.
I'll give him a pass.
Yeah, it's translated from Latin.
It's kind of funny to think that he probably has a New York accent then.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the
Hey,
movie.
I
but
fucking destroy the
he's
world.
like, yeah, I blow up the fucking nuke.
Hey,
I do the bomb
death.
thing.
Destroy the fucking world. What you gonna do by it?
He creates the atom bomb in Tim's.
The
Tim's in a fitted.
He's just sitting. He's got True Religion jeans on, just watching it.
Right.
So yeah, that happens, and he's like, Oppenheimer's like, oh fuck, like what did I do? Because he like immediately everyone else, the military's like, this is fantastic, like
Yeah.
holy
To, like,
shit,
Fucking
fucking
Vince McMahon
start
meme where he's like-
cranking them, yeah, literally, tips over.
Yeah.
So they were like, let's go, get it going, develop them. Keep in mind this is tested in America. America's pretty airtight, like
In Nevada or
not
whatever.
a lot of I mean
Allegedly.
foreshadowing, but like pretty lock solid in the sense of people everyone, the opposing forces do not know this has happened.
Yeah.
They don't know this bomb's been tested. They don't know anything about it. So they're like, all right, start making more. So he starts making more. Obviously, the fat boy and the little boy and the fat man or whatever, those are the two famous bombs that are dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So they developed the bomb. The Trinity test happens on July 16th, 1945, cut to August 6th, 1945. So roughly just under a month later, they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't remember when Nagasaki was. That might have been before or after.
Relatively close in time.
Correct. So on August 16, 1945, the United States dropped an atomic bomb on the city of Hiroshima. Bomb was known as Little Boy uranium gun-type bomb that exploded with about 13 kilotons of force. At the time of bombing, Hiroshima was home to 280,000 to 290,000 civilians, as well as 43,000 soldiers. Between 90,000 and 166 people are believed to have been killed by the bomb.
90,166.
Somewhere between 90,000 to 166,000
Bit of a broad range, I will
are
say.
believed to have died from the bomb in the 4-month period following the explosion.
Okay.
So in total, out of the 290,000 people that lived there, 166,000 are allegedly killed, which is fucking insane. Yeah, it's insane.
Over 50%, if
Yeah.
I remember your numbers right.
The U.S. Department of Energy estimated that after 5 years, there were perhaps 200,000 more fatalities as a result of the bombing,
Yeah.
just out of birth
Irradiated
defects,
shit.
radiation. City of Hiroshima estimates that 237,000 people were killed directly or indirectly by the bomb's effects, including burns, radiation, sickness, cancer. So, if you're going by Hiroshima's estimates,
Which
237 of a supposed 290,000 were killed
I'm
by
gonna say
one
they're,
bomb.
they're probably correct.
So you're thinking of this like,
They probably know what they're talking
okay,
about.
so this was like a period. Like you have to, like if you sit down and really sit with a thought, 290,000 people live somewhere. 237,000 of them were killed
That's
by
wild.
one thing.
That's fucking insane.
One explosion.
One bomb.
One explosion. Not like a plague or something.
Yeah.
Like one explosion.
Not like over the course of 15 years. Like
Right.
slowly and surely.
No. Like
Probably within a year.
within a year, within 5 years. There's still people that like had birth defects from it and shit like that.
Fucking
Like
insane.
insanity, dude. Absolute insanity. So they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. And then that was kind of like a wake up world. That was their attempt to really take Japan out of the war. Like that was the final blow of like,
Yeah, I mean,
this is what's gonna happen.
I'll probably do it.
Like, so that was August 6th. They dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. Japan doesn't.
I believe it's pronounced Hiroshima, by the way, but
Hiroshima. Japan doesn't surrender,
wild.
which is crazy. They were like, "Fuck you, we're
They're
still
like,
about this shit." And then they said,
bad.
"Bad." Then it was kind of also there was 2 offensive fronts in World War II allied with us, or one. So we were facing off against the Japanese in the Pacific.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union was facing off against
Pacific Theater.
Germany in the Western Front, the Eastern Front, like in
Eastern
Europe.
Theater.
So we're not necessarily like getting along with the Soviet Union, but we had a common goal of like, let's
Yeah.
destroy and kill the Nazis.
Yeah.
So we take out Japan, drop the first bomb. They're like, we're still not surrendering yet. Cut to 3 days later, drop the second bomb. The aerial bombings together killed between 129 to 226,000 people. That's what we've estimated. Hiroshima estimates that 237,000 were killed in total
Yeah.
just on that one. So then Japan still didn't surrender for almost a month after that.
Yeah, death before dishonor, brother.
Right. But the second bombing is widely regarded as like a warning to Russia of like the Soviet Union being like, listen, like we run shit.
Listen, you're like, you thought the first time was bad.
Right.
Want to see me do it again?
First one was for Japan. Second one was also for Japan, but also like, we're not fucking around, dude. And it's obviously, like I said, a complete surprise. No one has any idea that these
Facts.
are being developed or
They were like,
exist
"Whoa,
besides
did you
us. So they're like,
See that? They're driving by in the fucking airplanes. They're like, what the?
some guy eating lunch. He's like, you fucking hear that? You hear something? In Russia, like,
Yeah. Their
Yeah.
ground's like vibrating below them. They're like,
what was that?
Yeah. Must have been the wind.
Must have been the wind. By the night.
Just a mushroom cloud.
Yeah.
Must have been the wind.
NBC eating.
Yeah.
Must have been the
Who
wind.
goes there?
Yeah, so now the whole world's on like high alert of like, what the fuck was that? Like, what's going on? What the hell are these weapons? Like, how many more do the U.S. have? So basically, we are in full control of the globe at this point. Of like, this war's over. Like, we are, so help us God, we will fucking let all of these go.
Yeah.
Russia is the Soviet Union is obviously like, I mean, Japan is just dismantled. Like,
Sure.
they're completely out of the war at this point.
I mean,
The Soviet Union obviously
fucking
hasn't been
killed
hit with one of
half
these,
of their people, so
but
running out of what do you call it? Running out of legs there.
right. So they're like, everyone, now the war comes to an end and it's like peace, but now there's a power struggle between the Soviet Union because Germany's out of the war now after being defeated by the Soviet Union and the Americans. Japan is out of the war because of the bombings. And now the the big powerhouses in the world are the Soviet Union and America.
Mm-hmm.
So then, of course, over the course of the next few years, there's disputes back and forth
Cold
of
War.
we want this, we want that, blah, 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 blah. Cut to 1949. The Soviet Union secretly conducted its first successful semi-Palestinic 21 in Kazakhstan. Basically their version of the nuke. So
Oh.
they set off their first one to see.
The
So
IBCM?
up until this point, too, it was like this completely shifted like what a war could be.
Wait, where did they set theirs off?
Kazakhstan,
Just cause.
I guess.
They're
Yeah.
Like, fuck it, let's put it over there.
Yeah. I don't think it was like in a city or anything. It was just like whatever in the desert. So they successfully test their first nuke. But in the span of 1945 to 1949, the general consensus was that America was the only one with these weapons.
Okay.
So there was espionage at some point where all of this technology is super secret. Like,
I mean,
obviously you cannot let this get into the wrong hands. Somehow it does. It leaks over to the Soviet Union. In theory, yes, they could have
they
developed
probably
their
just
own.
came up with it themselves.
They
as well.
could have, in theory, yes. But
I mean, the Nazi scientists were regarded as some of the most intelligent people on the planet at the time.
right.
They were just fighting for the
But a
wrong
lot of them
side.
were on our side. A
No,
lot
that's
of
what
them
I'm
were
saying, yeah,
recruited to
yeah.
America. So
yeah.
at some point it would have taken longer than 5 years. Is what's summarized
Yeah,
to like
right.
develop this kind of technology because it took Oppenheimer
Yeah.
almost 5 years or whatever, like a little over 5 years. So now it's swayed to a totally different like the war. I mean, the world is just on edge from now on. Of like, holy shit! Like one of these could go off anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
Like blah blah blah. So the Soviet Union test theirs in 1949. It's successful. Now it becomes a very large power struggle. Shortly thereafter, the United Kingdom tests one of theirs. It's successful. I believe China might have tested one that was successful.
The UK got involved.
Yeah, so like all these now it's starting to spread.
We're gonna blow up a fucking London
Hey,
Bridge.
bring out all the nukes. Tell them to bring out the nukes. They so now like a ton of countries are starting to get this, and it's like, all right,
nuking Northern Ireland because
Yeah,
I just hate them
secret
so
time.
much.
yeah, we'll fucking drop it.
Yeah, we'll drop the fucking nuke.
Drop the boom. Hey, fucking drop that bomb in ya. Fucking Australia, like, fucking blimey. This sounds like an explosion. Oh, that's a big boom, yeah.
They're the nicest people ever, so they just didn't want to get involved.
Holy fucking kangaroo.
Yeah.
See the size of that explosion? Wow. You can fucking blow up my Sheila. Dude,
Fucked.
So,
All right, so
all of this
everyone's
shit is
everyone's
insane.
got one.
right, and now we're entering a Cold War with Russia at some point. Not quite yet, but it's getting there. Cut to, what did I say, 1949, so give or take 10, maybe 1959, 15 years, 13 years, something like that. John F. Kennedy's in office, and things are coming to a height with
Spoiler alert.
I forget the guy's first name. Khrushchev was the Nikita Khrushchev. He was the former president of the Soviet Union. And we're at a Cold War with Russia now because things are starting to heat up in Vietnam. Both parties are involved, blah, blah, blah. And then the Soviet Union is allies with Cuba. Cuba is 90 miles from Key West in Florida, so that's not far at all. Like, fucking from here to Springfield, Mass. is like 100-something miles or whatever. Like, here to Hartford, Connecticut, it's like 120 miles. You can drive that in a car, like pretty
That
easily.
far?
I believe so, if I remember
It's
correctly.
closer than that, but
It might be.
Whatever.
I think it is. Anyways, 90 miles from Key West. Two planes. I forget what the fuck they're called. U-2s, I think they're called. They're American spy planes. They spot an airfield in Cuba while they're spying on the Cubans because they know that they're allies of the Soviet Union. They
Yeah.
spot these just massive nukes being moved. And they're like, holy shit. So they call back to the president, let him know. This is on, I don't know the exact dates. I have the dates of the Cuban Missile Crisis, but I don't know if this is exactly when all this was reported. October 16, 1962, I believe, is when the reports came back that there's missiles in Cuba, more than capable of reaching the mainland. I
sure.
don't believe at this point we had developed intercontinental ballistic missiles, which would be a missile we could shoot from America over the ocean to Russia. So the big threat was like, well, they can't nuke us because they're not close enough. They're too far.
Per
They
se.
could get Alaska or Canada or something, but like they can't get us. Russia's shockingly close to like what? Yeah,
It's like, whoa,
right.
hold on.
But they can't reach mainland USA, and then all of a sudden it comes out that there's nukes that are 90 miles away from us, and they're like, well, this could touch pretty much every major city in the country, besides maybe the Pacific Northwest or Pacific Midwest.
The ones in Cuba, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
So now there's a real threat of like nuclear war. So the next, it goes, the Cuban Missile Crisis is from October 16, 1962 to October 29th, 1962. So it's really like a span of 13 days of insane tension, like insane tension.
Okay.
The DEFCON level, I believe, gets lowered to like 2, which is
Lower the worst.
one
if it's
is
one is the
one is
worst.
nuclear warfare, like
Okay.
it's already happening. 2 is like it's imminent.
Yeah,
So it might have been a 3 because I think 2, it got lowered in Pearl Harbor in 9/11 to 2.
I haven't played enough 5, so I don't know.
Yeah. So now they start going back and forth with JFK and Khrushchev are going back and forth. But this is 1960. There's no you can't leave a voicemail for them or anything like that. So they're
Like, hey,
handwriting.
just wanted to
They're
give you-
handwriting letters to each other.
give you a call.
Yeah, they're handwriting letters to each other. RFK, JFK's brother, is meeting with the Soviet ambassador in America. They're having different meetings back and forth, and like, it's easy to say now in 2023 that like, yes, this was like very tensious. Like you can't even imagine the level of tension that
Yeah.
every day, if you're an American citizen
You're just
who's
waiting
not
to
involved,
fucking
you
explode.
are waiting to be blown up by a
Yeah.
nuke. Like that is. I was talking to Uncle Mike about it. He was like, the Cuban Missile Crisis was like terrifying. It
Yeah.
was like every day you just were like, you'd wake up and be like, all right, I guess we're still alive. Like
Hopefully
I don't know,
today's
like
not
fucking
today.
hopefully today. Yeah, exactly. You're just waiting for sirens and shit. So, they be practicing like drills in schools and stuff.
Going in the fridge.
No, the nuke drill was just get under your desk.
No,
Like-
yeah. I mean,
Right. Which is terrifying to think about in a sense that
what else do you do? I guess.
there's like, that's just like a peace of mind thing for children.
Yeah.
To be like, if you go under your desk, you'll be all right. When you'd be vaporized. Like, it
Yeah.
wouldn't, like, you know what I mean?
regardless, you're getting
Right.
fucking yeah.
So it'd be instant, like. But that's just like a weird thing to think about, where there's actually really no precautionary measure that the
yeah.
general public can take
Yeah.
to avoid being just
Yeah.
destroyed.
Unless you have the fallout shelter
Right.
pre-made.
So JFK and Khrushchev are talking back and forth. They're starting to go into negotiations. JFK's like, "What are you doing? Don't really appreciate this." Khrushchev's like, "Don't really appreciate you having missiles in Turkey, because we had nuclear missiles that we had moved into Turkey, which is equidistant from
Just a fucking
Russia than
yeah. It's just
Cuba
a
is
fucking
from Florida."
pissing contest.
Right, exactly. So then they're going back and forth. RFK is famously like very stout and studious and confident and
Yeah.
gung ho. There's like famous there's a famous meeting that he had with the Russian ambassador in the Americas, where he basically like went to him, met with him, was like dilapidated, like clearly hadn't slept in days. It was basically like, rather than being like, we're America, do this, he was basically like, please, this needs to end. Like,
Yeah.
we can't take the stress anymore.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
I
blah.
got you.
Which is like very uncharacteristic
Yeah.
of him and very like.
So clearly, it was
whatever.
Just like, yeah.
So then finally Khrushchev is like, listen, tell you what, I'll take the missiles out of Cuba, right, with your word that nothing's going to happen to the USSR,
Right.
and that'll be the end of it. Like, so keep in mind, this is just direct talks between JFK and Khrushchev. Obviously, JFK is relaying this to his cabinet and everything, and letting Congress know and blah blah blah, and all
Right.
Parliament what's going on.
Yeah.
Parliament, his group, whatever you want to call it, his cabinet, is like adamantly against it. They're like, you can't do this. You can't trust the Russians. They're gonna fucking blow us up the second we agree to this. Blah blah blah. We should just nuke them now before they have the chance. Like,
Yeah.
so this is like unimaginable levels of stress on the president to be
Sure.
like, how do I fucking fix this? This is where they think that JFK really started to lose popularity within his own grouping,
Yeah.
like his own members of
cabinet.
right. Because he's like, fine, I agree to it. Or he's like, all right, I'll tell you what, let me talk it over and I'll think about it. The next day, this is called Black Saturday. I don't know why they call it that, but it's known as Black Saturday. So it's the Saturday of whenever that 13-day span is. Khrushchev goes on national Russian news and is like, I have made an offer to John F. Kennedy. We will pull our nukes out of Cuba if he pulls his nukes out of Turkey.
Yeah.
Which isn't what he said in the letter. He was basically like, just make sure nothing happens. And we were
Okay.
like, sure, that's fine. And then he gets on TV and he's like, you have to pull the... I already told him he has to pull the nukes out. So then JFK's like, the fuck? That's not what you said. Like,
Yeah.
so then it's like a perfect flip-flop of like, boom, balls in your court. What are you going to do? Like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what you got, Siri.
He's listening.
So now it's like, it's a crazy power move by Khrushchev to be like, I'm going to end this right now. Like, this is basically like him being like, it's nuclear war or it's no war.
It's a nerf or nothing.
It's nerf or it's
the
nothing. Yeah.
original or it's nerf or nothing.
Right. But he's basically like, the war starts tomorrow or it never starts at all.
Yeah.
And this is completely up to you, Mr. President.
Mr. Kennedy, if that's even your real
If
name.
that's even your name. And he's like, that is my name.
He doesn't speak English.
But it's
so-
also like, again, our JFK gets this letter on Friday, tells them about it. They're like, don't trust him. He's like, I think I trust him. I don't think anyone wants this. The next day, he fucking goes on TV, tells a lie. So now his cabinet's like, what the fuck? Like, we just told you can't trust him.
Yeah.
He's like, I thought I could. I don't know what to do. Sunday comes around. No word yet. They're still mailing letters back and forth, too. So it takes a day or two to get letters back and forth.
Pigeons only fly so fast.
Right. On that Sunday, a U.S. U-2 reconnaissance plane is shot down with a surface-to-air missile over Cuba. So that's an act of war. Then an Americans either attack or detect a Russian submarine off the east coast that's like actively blocking something or barricading
some radar or some shit.
Yeah, or they send like a blockade to Cuba too. I'm
Okay.
sorry, there's a blockade around. So yeah, he sends a blockade to Cuba, the Navy, which is an act of war. So now there's been 2 acts of war that have happened back and forth.
Yeah.
So it's like basically they've been squaring up to fight. They've both thrown a punch now
Yeah.
and like connected real quick. And
Basically
they're like,
couldn't be
are we
any
fighting
closer.
or like what do we do? Like?
Yeah.
But the fight would be nuclear warfare.
Yeah, it'd be just mutually assured destruction.
Correct.
If I may.
So that's on Sunday. Monday comes around, they sign a treaty, and then Tuesday all the nukes get moved out and like
Put into deep storage. at the
put
Smithsonian.
back to their countries and yada yada yada. But like the 4-day span is, or like the 13-day span is like, it's impossible to think about the level of stress that it would be like.
Oh, yeah.
I think you could probably only equate it to like 9/11, which I don't remember.
I mean, not even
You were
9/11
alive,
though,
so-
because 9/11 was a surprise.
Correct.
So it's like,
yeah. But
I
I'm
mean, I
saying
guess
the
you're saying
stress
the
the days
aftermath.
after, like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
aftermath
the
of like
aftermath,
what
yeah,
the fuck's gonna happen today. Like,
But even still, like 9/11, it wasn't really a question. Like, I mean, obviously I was alive, but I wasn't alive. Like, I was only fucking a couple months old. But I feel like with 9/11, it was just like, all right, fuck it, we'll just go fuck you guys up, because it's like
right,
there really wasn't a power. Like, it wasn't like we were both like strong military forces. It was like
right.
America versus like a bunch of fucking
It was America versus essentially
of-
4 guys.
Yeah, like,
because
just
they
like
had
a-
no linkage to like
yeah, like
80
a group
countries,
of-
and then we just decided to go.
right.
But that's a whole.
That's a whole nother story. But I'm just saying,
Partisan
like, there
issue.
wasn't really much of like a, from what I've like read about and heard about, like there wasn't really much of like
right,
a
there was
question
no
of,
nation
like,
attached to those guys.
Yeah, and it was also just
necessarily.
like, even if there was, it's like there's
There's-
nowhere near like the
Right.
military level that that America was
Right.
at the time.
But it's like this, just to have all this happening, plus the Vietnam War,
Yeah.
cut to fucking less than a year later, JFK gets assassinated, and it's like
Right.
that heightens it again of like, holy shit, what's gonna happen now? Blah blah blah. Like, and it all starts all the way back with like the Trinity test of just this fucking bomb going off and being like, holy shit, because all the years after, now all these countries are developing nuclear bombs or
Yeah.
atomic weapons, and then testing them consistently, and then consistently testing more and more and more and
Yeah.
stronger and stronger until like people are like, holy shit, like the threat of like a nuclear winter wasn't a thing until the
Now they're
60s.
out there still to this day.
Right.
Technically, they're probably even more advanced than they ever were. So.
Yeah, now you can shoot them from Boston to fucking anywhere on the globe if
Yeah.
you want. Like,
For real,
it's insane.
shit is fucking insane.
Yeah,
So
I'm telling you,
anyways.
should, if you're interested, listen to that podcast. Just look into like the Cuban Missile Crisis, and obviously I want to see Oppenheimer, but
I was
like
about to say, go watch Oppenheimer.
the story is insane. The whole thing is insane. It's a crazy thing to like. I can't imagine having lived through it. It's probably bananas.
Unexplainable tension.
It's good shit.
Anyways,
Time to bring out the tension.
I want to bring out the nukes, baby.
Time to bring out all the nukes.